You are watching a Fact TV presentation of the town of Swanzey.
We'll open the meeting.
Make a motion we approve the regular meeting minutes of September 27th.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve the regular meeting minutes of September 27th. Those in favor?
Aye.
I'm just curious. There's two listed. One doesn't have a number, the other has number 3. Are we? Oh, it's a different day.
Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah, make a motion we approve the non-public meeting minute of September 27th.
Yeah.
Or the vote, not the non-public meeting number 3 of September 13th.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the non-public meeting minutes of September 27th and number 3 of September 13th. Further discussion, hearing none, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any additions, deletions? Too late. No. Good. Public input. Mike, you're on.
I'm on. So I came to present to you an idea that we came up with concerning the Lot 9, map 217. That's a 7.9 acre parcel that the town owns, which is adjacent to the brewery on Sawyer's Crossing Road. There's a small usable area on this property. Other than that, it's all wetlands and
river or
river.
island.
River, yeah. I would guess, I did some field measurements the other day, and I came up with a usable area of about 80 by 100 with a 30-foot setback from the road, which we could use as some sort of ancillary parking, which would be our interest in acquiring the property from the town.
Makes sense to me.
Slide.
There is the process.
Right.
It is. It used to be a river access for the propane tanks across the street.
For a fire, yeah, I spoke with the fire chief and Eric, and they both mentioned that they would not want to use that as access because it's like 25, 30 foot drop into the.
Well,
I would be agreeable to giving an easement if that's something that you would want to carry forth. I don't have a problem with that. I mean,
when we took out the dam, it was one of the things that needed improvement is that access. So.
Yeah. I think they're looking at it as like a logistical. There's no real way for them to walk down and throw a hose in because it's more like this when the river's down. But I would be agreeable to granting an easement for that purpose.
And then Mike had brought up the fact that we couldn't just probably outright sell it. We'd have to go out to bid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the logistics of how you would have to do it, but that's on your end.
Right.
And if somebody else wants an unusable piece of land and more than they do, then they can have at it.
You'd be surprised. We've
You have to
never,
ask Paul Thomas.
never sold anything on municipal and not thought we got a good deal. So, if there's something to do with the psychology of bidding like that, or what?
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, there's not. I don't think you could build anything on it because you'd be hard pressed to get a well, septic, and everything that you would need. Not sure if some other group would want it. We would probably use it more for employee parking, and a lot of people have said, hey, are you going to have access to the river? Because when they're at the brewery, they would want to go down and look, and the road's already there. So versus going back and trying to get a thing from the state and making a walkway on a steep hill, which is what we have on our property. Might be a kind of a cool little nature thing.
So our process, yeah, is not quick, so we have to hold a couple public hearings and consult with the planning board and the conservation commission to make sure, basically give them an opportunity to say if they have any concerns with just the general idea of selling it. And assuming it worked through that process, we would then put it on municipal bid for 3 weeks or so. So I don't think it's mid-October, so I don't think you're probably planning to use it too soon anyway, but
No.
just to give you a sense, it'd probably be like by the end of the year, it might be something that goes through the whole process.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the, it wouldn't have to be, and I don't know, we're in no hurry, it just was a way to alleviate some of the parking issues that we're gonna address tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have, right?
Yes, exactly, yes. And we didn't know, we didn't know, we
That's right.
we didn't know that people we'd be having as many requests or events.
Good for business, though, I
Yeah,
imagine.
yes, it is.
So, good. You definitely don't want to hold back your success.
Yes.
Consensus to move forward?
Yep.
All right,
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
start saving.
Yes, yeah. I'll let you guys have it.
You're welcome to stay.
I've been to a lot of these. So yeah, thank
Good luck
you.
tomorrow night.
Yes, I'll see you tomorrow.
Take care. All right. Consideration of new business.
So first
Budget
item is the initial snapshot of the status of the budget to date. So this is primarily just with department head submissions, haven't done too much meeting and paring down so far. No wage increases are factored in at this point. So looking at a general fund increase at this point of about 4.5%. The major factors driving that are continuing our paving preservation plan, meeting with Larry and Joe next week to talk about the projects in the operating budget. So I should have some more info about that soon if we're able to move things around. Another factor is health insurance. Premiums are increasing significantly again, still well below what we were spending a few years ago. So I think our plan change is going to help us, at least in the short term, weather this increase. If it's going up significantly every year, we're going to obviously have to consider other options or other plan changes. But I think at this point, well, it's more than we'd like. I think we're still, like I said, spending less on employee health insurance than we were a few years ago, so it's still a positive. We're picking up the debt payment for Upper Wilson Pond Dam. We did that bond in July, so we're picking up the first year payments on that. And general assistance, we're showing an increase in that line item. As you know, that's a crapshoot, but based on the current figures we're seeing and the lack of housing options that we're able to move people into to lower cost options, we're hoping some of that's going to get alleviated soon, but at this point, we'd rather bump it up and hope to not need it than to potentially be short next year. So again, just a snapshot in the overview, and then you'll be starting your department meetings next week.
Have you had a chance to consider the payroll for next year? Last year we bumped it considerably. Do you anticipate we will return to what our normal?
I think a more normal increase. I don't think the inflationary factor is quite what it was last year, but I think I'd like to look at some targeted maybe higher increases based on positions or the market for those positions. But I don't think we're going to have the same degree of across the board increase.
Thanks.
Other questions? Hearing none? Okay. Update revenues?
So this is just our annual, September, the state gives us an opportunity to update our revenues. We usually don't take them up on that. And I'm kind of continuing with that recommendation at this point. We're working on finalizing the MS1, which I think Dave's hoping to have maybe for your next meeting. So we're on schedule to set the tax rate around the beginning of November like we usually do. Looking good on revenues overall, some good unanticipated revenues for some of the properties that we've sold. So I think we're going to be in good shape for revenues. But I recommend we keep them level at this point, and then when we get the MS1 in and we see what that factors out to the tax rate, we can make adjustments then if we need to.
How about cars?
Cars are on pace. So last year was kind of a weird year in that normally we've been on a pretty steady trajectory, and then we kind of leveled off. We're kind of still at that leveled off amount. So I think we're going to hit our budget for motor vehicle registrations, but we're not at this point still on that upward trend, unfortunately. The level is better than going the other way.
School on track?
For the tax rate, I have not reached out yet, so it's about the time when we do those friendly reminders. But with the current staffing, we haven't been having that issue the last several years, so I'm not anticipating a problem.
August expenditure revenue?
Looks good.
Okay.
No change?
More thorough analysis for next month, which will be the third quarter.
Virtual power purchase agreement?
As the board recalls, a couple of the Energy Commission members, Julius, attended one of your meetings a month or so ago, and the New Hampshire Solar Garden developer, Andrew Keller, had said he had some additional options he wanted them to consider, which they have considered, and their recommendation basically at this point has not changed. That it is not something that the Energy Commission recommends we enter into, which I think was where the board was leaning or deciding anyway. So I would like to put that to bed and tell him to pursue his other buyers.
You need a motion?
Consensus is fine.
Works for me.
Yep. Me too.
Thank you.
Administrative update?
25 years, right? Yeah.
Or with another offer, we shall see. But yeah, see how he makes out. I think they're going to have to extend that pilot again, because I think that's coming up if he wants to keep that on the books. A couple items for the administrative update. So I forwarded to the board a couple.
You can get a 51 for the correspondence.
What's up?
Good call. Good catch.
Just looking at it.
Correspondence, number 9 says page 51. We have to go up to page 50.
It's the Cheshire EMS report. Just checking to see if you're paying attention.
No.
Which is a good segue, because I forwarded to the board a couple of emails I received from Cheshire County about the Cheshire EMS leadership change. Discussed that with Chris on Friday. He mentioned he's willing to meet with the board if you have any questions or concerns, but I think our level of service has been good, no complaints, so I'm not too worried about it at this point. Julius and I attended the Southwest Regional Planning Commission's quarterly meeting last night, and I helped them participate on their panel to talk about some resiliency in terms of weather events. So I talked about how we're doing the asset management plan for stormwater, how we're trying to mitigate before disasters for Weber Hill Road, and how we're trying to identify issues such as Weber Hill Road through our routine hazard mitigation plan. So just wanted to report back on that. And to follow up on something that I know is near and dear to the board's heart and came up at the CIPC a week or so ago, I have a meeting next week with Superintendent Lisa Walker to talk about the district's kind of plans and schedules for the facility projects and what their thoughts on what's going to happen to some of those buildings down the road. So if you have other questions that you think I might have forgotten about or want to make sure are on my radar, feel free to remind me or shoot me an email.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So she's got a name change.
She does, I believe, yeah.
All the W's the same.
true. I wrote down Lisa Witt here, but I remember. So, yeah, I think she got married.
Good for her.
Okay. Non-public?
Yes, sir.
One point of order, Mr. Chairman, was there not going to be a Mr. Delaney attending, or has that been,
He's been tabled till next week.
thank you.
Thank you, yeah, I think I maybe mentioned it before the meeting, but yeah, he's coming in next week.
Get out of Broad Lane.
That's probably pretty serious. Motion going to non-public under A.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to go under non-public, under A.
Colby,
Yep.
Walker, Karazinski.
Aye.